Let's redesign some of my year-old work. Hello world, I am Ivana and I am learning to become a graphic designer. Last week I made a video about what things have changed for me since I started learning graphic design, and because this, I wanted this week to do a redesign of some of my old work that I did last year around this time. Why? Because I want to see what kind of mistakes I made back then to fix them and to see what new things I can come up with in the redesign. So let's try it out. Here you can see a poster that I did for a course. During the course we learned the fundamentals or basics of Adobe Illustrator, the software. What we had to do as a final course project to prove that we've learned whatever was in the course, we had to make a poster for this jazz festival. The poster needed to be done completely in Illustrator. Illustrations, effects, typography. It needed to have like a jazzy theme, obviously, and the requirements were that it needed to have to say jazz festival, the place and time of the festival, where is it taking place and when, and some of the performers. We could have put, the logo was also mandatory. We could put some of the sponsors of the festival, but it wasn't necessary. So as you can see, I hadn't put them because maybe I didn't have space or something. I don't remember. But yeah, I made other illustrations for this, like these musical instruments, plus the woman, the microphone, and this was my mood board. And I remember choosing yellow and purple for the colors because this A2 Jazz festival is like a real festival that happens, I believe, every year. And so those were the colors that they had on their webpage back then, so I just decided to use those. First of all, as a first step in this video, I want to take the time and fix my typography and maybe do a different composition for this poster. But I want to keep the same elements, maybe the same typeface. I will see what I want to do. But I want to fix a little bit the hierarchy, the typography here. I will keep the same illustration. And yeah, I will just fix those mistakes that I see. I like the composition as a whole, I think. It's just this here is a little bit weird, like the hierarchy maybe, or how the place and time are put. So I'm gonna fix this. And maybe I will add sponsors. We'll see if I have enough space left to do this. And maybe I can come up also with another composition. But then in phase 2, I want to redesign the whole thing and I want to come up with something completely different. Again, for a jazz festival, but maybe I can make my own logo and then I can use some other illustrations, if at all. Maybe it's a typographic poster, we'll see. I just want a new idea to see how I think this year, to see what I can come up with, and yeah, present a whole new design. All right, let's start. All right, here we go with version 1. So here I'm mainly leaving the same composition, but I will be redoing the text. I am rewriting all of the text in separate type boxes. I chose to leave the same typeface for Jazz Festival, but the other text I decided to change the typeface to Montserrat because it's better readable. So the Jazz Festival typeface, it only had one weight This is why I had to bolden it by offsetting the path a little bit. I think 1 millimeter or something I added around it to make it weigh more. I added a guide to put all of my important elements in it. This is something that I hadn't done before when I made this poster because I just didn't know how to work correctly. So this is why I added it now. Another thing is I made the date obviously a little bit more prominent so that it can be visible from afar. I had to manually rewrite again all of the performers, and I put them there. It sort of looks the same as before. I just think it looked fine before. That's why I left it like this. But I just reshuffled the other elements and obviously made the date a little bit bigger. The sponsor logos, maybe I should have done them all in one color because they're so colorful and they're different shapes, they're different sizes, they're different colors. All in all, they were very difficult to work with. So I decided to leave them tiny at the bottom of the poster basically and to leave them there. Like I mentioned in my previous video with my reflections over the past year, I learned that iterations are absolutely mandatory when we want to get to a good layout for a poster or whatever. And so this is why I just had to make other iterations on this because I had ideas and I wanted to try them out. This second variant, I decided to put the headline Jazz Festival at the top because, I don't know, like most of the other posters have it at the top like this in a much bigger type and whatnot. And I decided to shrink the illustration a little bit so that she's still visible, but she doesn't take that much space. I wanted to make obviously the headline, the heading much bigger. And so I played around with the layout for like date, time, performers and stuff. And then I decided to change the illustration as well a little bit. And so I flipped it. So I flipped her to the other side. And please don't laugh at my skills, but I had a really hard time playing with like shadows and highlights on this illustration. And if they are wrong, obviously you can tell me that I'm wrong. I don't mind, but I just didn't know how to make it look better. So I do think that it still turned out very good. And so I wanted to make a third variant, however, and I had an idea for it. So the illustration will be sort of isolated in this one rectangular shape, and around her or around the illustration there will be the text, and so neither the illustration will cover the text nor like text will cover the illustration. And so I believe this layout turned out very well. I don't know if it is super correct to make it into a poster. I believe it's more like maybe a flyer sort of layout. I did fix the width of the rectangular shape so it aligns with the end of the text. So don't judge me. I did fix my mistake. I do need to see it again at like maybe the next day or something to see all of my mistakes. Do not send out a design like on the first try or on the first day, because you definitely need time to get used to it and to see it again, maybe in a few hours the next day. You've gotten some sleep, and then your eyes have rested, and then you see it again with clear eyes and brain. All right. So I'm ready with the first 3 designs, or like the ones that I just fixed, like layout, typography and stuff like this. So let me know which one of those 3 you like best, and I will be back for part 2, where I will design a completely new variant of the poster with like different illustrations or different images that I compile from like a mood board. I will create again, I will go through the process again of creating a poster, like mood board and everything, and I will share again the process plus the final result, and we will see which one is better. last year me, this year redesign of last year's poster, or this year's new me. One last thing I wanted to add in this video is that I received this nice comment from Tanvir under my previous video, and I really wanted to thank him for the nice comment. I really needed that one for support. So please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out to know that you enjoy my content. I am at 97 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. And yeah, I really appreciate it if you like the video as well. Thank you so much for watching, and bye!